In this video, we're going to show you how to add the live plot and back plot for Linux. Let's get going. First thing we're going to do is going to add a tab or page before the current page. Then we're going to change the name of it to plotter. Now to add a plotter, we'll go to the documents, scroll down to plotter, and to get a plotter all you got to do is add a Q widget or a Q frame and name it plot widget. So we'll do that now. I like to use a frame. Change the object name. Now we're going to add a tab widget here, and the tab widget's going to be for the view, preset views, and the settings. I'm going to hit layout horizontally. Notice that the viewer disappeared. That's because there's nothing inside the Q frame. So we'll undo that layout and set the minimum width 500. Alright, move our tab widget over so it's not on top of it. Hit layout again horizontally. There we go. Now let's change the name of this. This will be our views. This will be our settings. We'll start out with the views. Go ahead and save it, and you can see with the plot widget showing the default settings. So now let's scroll down to display views, and these are all Q push buttons, and so we'll add some push buttons, and that's the different views. We're just dragging and dropping push buttons. Lay this out in a grid. Sorry, it's off screen. There it is. And we'll rename them. P for perspective. X. Just checking my names here. Alright. Y. Y2, which is just a different Y view. Z is the view from the top. I think Z2 is the view from the bottom. And we're just going to mess with the layout alignment. There you go. So we'll get our object names. We'll set all those. So it's just that easy. You just copy and paste object names in there and you get the function that you want. Probably should have called it easy peasy GUI, but flex sounded more appropriate. It is very flexible. You can have anything you want, anywhere you want, and it's easy to do. And get the last one here. We'll set that. Alright, we'll save the file. We'll run our simulator. Now we're in perspective view by default. That's X, Y, Y2, Z, Z2, back to perspective. Okay, let's add some settings. This is what you want to display. These can be either on the menu or checkbox, and you can have both, and they'll stay coordinated if you uncheck one on the menu or uncheck one on the checkbox. The other one, opposite one, gets set the same way. So we'll start dragging some checkboxes in there. DRO. Let's set the layout. Try to keep it on screen for you. There we go. Layout in the grid. The next one we're going to do is limits. I'll kind of organize these a little bit by what they affect. The DRO items are on the left and the programming limits items on the right. I don't know why. I'll put in a vertical spacer. That puts them at the top. Just to show how that's done, I will add a few checkboxes. Notice that the tab widget adjusts its width depending on what's the contents are inside of it. So velocity is a DRO item. And change the name. Metric units. If this is true, it'll display metric units no matter what the configuration units are. I don't know why we have that, but we do. Let's see, distance to go. That's a DRO item. Change that object name. And offsets. That one shows all the offsets. I forgot the name, but here we go. Alright. Now let's get the extents, live plot. That's the red line that plots. We'll show that in a bit. Program. Change the object name. Rapids. Yeah, we actually have that because somebody didn't like seeing rapids. Tool. If you don't have a tool loaded, it's just going to be a cone. You'd think it would have been an end mill. Let's check and see. I think we've got everything we want to look at. We'll save it. We'll run the file, run the simulator. Notice that some of them's checked off already. Those are the default. And when you start it up without having anything checked or unchecked. So I just checked distance to go and I quit. And that is saved in your preference file. So see, distance to go is checked and it's on. So that's velocity. Offsets. Well, that'll fill the screen up, huh? So over here, rapids, see it turned rapid on and off, program on and off, plot, we have to run the program to show that, so we'll do that real quick. And run the program. Now the plot is a red line, that's the live plot, so when I uncheck that, it disappears. When I recheck it, it turns it back on. Limits is the bounding box. And we can change our views. And different views. Remember, all these settings are saved to your configuration, your settings file, which is okay. What we're going to do now is show you. I'm going to open a different file. It's just got a couple lines in it. And Plotter, you see there's 2 lines. Pretty basic. So now I'm going to delete line 4. And then I'm going to go back over here and go to the file. And you can do that from the menu as well. Hit reload. Notice it reloads the file in the viewer, and it reloads the plotter. So it's all that simple. Thank you. Goodbye.